Hello, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals! And for this very special episode, we'll be featuring the LEGO Custom Jurassic World Alive Ornithomimus. But before we head on with this video, the Guess This PC contest winners will be announced later on in the video, so watch out for it, guys! And now, on with the making of the Ornithomimus. So here is our Ornithomimus that I have actually kit bashed. I'm using here the Rexy figure from Toy Story. And I've used here several parts of other LEGO figures as well as some random LEGO parts here so that we have some articulation to it as well. So since the Ornithomimus head is quite small, so I'm using that one. We're using extensions for the leg and still using or maintaining our feet for Rexy. I think it's a perfect one for this one. And then of course I used here some random parts from LEGO plant parts. So those are the parts that I use for kit bashing. So if you want to make one for yourself, then I think this would be something you would like to do. Now it's time for us to sculpt. We are using here Pioneer non-epoxy or non-sag epoxy. So we mix two equal parts together and then we're sculpting it on the figure. So here's the finished sculpt of the figure so far. I'm brushing up some powder to it. You can either use flour or baby powder if you want. And then we're just powdering up so that the parts won't stick together. So curing time takes around 2 to 3 hours. So once the figure is fully cured and stone hard, you can actually have it for wet sanding. Alright, so we added in some feather details using EVA foam, and then we have already primered this one. And now that it is already dried, we can now start on with the painting. Alright, so for this one, we're actually basing it off from Jurassic World Alive Ornithomimus. So we have some acrylics, we have water, and of course some brushes. Now we can start. So the underside and also the parts wherein the feathers do not cover the body is actually a mix of gray and some violet to it. So we mixed light gray and also some violet and we came up with this color. I actually added here some tones of yellow ochre so that it would actually break and also somehow, you know, connect the colors with the white later on. So the bottom part of the legs are actually also colored this one, so pretty much like how an ostrich would look like. So the exposed skin is actually without the feathers, would either be of this tone or fleshy tone, but for the Ornithomimus it's more of that or the violet tones to it. So moving on to the next color, this is just white with a little bit of yellow ochre, and we're painting this on areas where feather is covered. So that means some parts of the head, also the topmost portions of the neck, that of the body and the tail, as well as that of the wings or the arms. Some parts of the thighs of the Ornithomimus are also covered also with feathers. For this color, I went on with a second coat because we needed to really cover those areas with feathers. And with using the same colors, I am actually individually, painting on the feather details on the sides of the Ornithomimus, as you will be seeing later on in the video. Apologies, but I'm a little bit off the camera, so okay, so here you can see I'm individually putting in single feathers on the edges where the violet and also the white paint is actually. After this actually comes along the more important parts, and that is of course putting in several more colors to our Ornithomimus. So one of the details that Ornithomimus in Jurassic World Evolution has would be several colors that are located in specific parts, such as that of the wings, those of the head, and even the feet are actually a little bit more different in terms of coloration. So we're fast tracking. I hope you enjoyed that one. That will be the end of the making of the video for our Ornithomimus. Now let's move on with the announcements of the Guess PC contest winners. First we have 10 lucky picks, and here they are: Malik, Cesar, People, Swollen Head, Ariel Martinez, Nathis, Victor, Earl Jan, Rainmark, and Jurassic Guy. Congratulations everyone, and now for our top 10 winners.
Top 10
Dino Park Channel,
Top
Zara
9
PKD,
Top 8
Mammoth,
Top 7
Zane Adventure,
Top 6
Ellie,
Top 5
Walking with Jurassic King,
Top 4
Mr. T-Rex,
Top 3
Cretaceous Bricks,
Top 2
Colton Todd,
Top
and Green
1
Fury the Allosaurus Gen 2. Congratulations everyone, and I'll see you on the next Guess PC contest. For those of you who would like to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. And in the homepage, just click on that community link and it will lead you to all my posts. And now, on with Assembricks. Let's count down the number of parts to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Since it has a different part to it, I just want to take it off because it might break. So we have 8 parts to this one. Let's connect everything together. So let's connect the one to this one. So that's the head to the body. Let's connect the arms. Right, left, left leg, right leg, and then last will be the tail. And that's it, our Ornithomimus. And now for a little bit of dino trivia for you guys. Ornithomimus' name means bird mimic. Ornitho meaning bird and mimus meaning mimic. They are one of the fastest dinosaurs ever with a speed of 40 miles per hour. And they live also in the late Cretaceous. Hello everyone, and we're back for this video on our Ornithomimus or Ornithomimus. The Ornithomimus here is actually based off from the Jurassic World Alive Ornithomimus. After here, we'll be back later on for some size comparisons, but for now, let us move on with a closer look on this one, shall we? So the Ornithomimus here is, a simple costume that I made out of the Rex Toy Story figure. And you can see here that I have actually extended the legs, still use the feet of Rex as it actually represents that of the Ornithomimus feet. The Rex figure actually has 2 studs on it, so it's perfect. I made it a little bit thinner than the usual, and then I made separate wings for this one, as you can see here. So the wings actually has fingers to it, and the wings are actually quite flexible as well. Oops. Now the ends of the tail are also flexible, as you can see here, and it can be moved like so. The mouth doesn't move, but that's okay because the head is relatively smaller than most of what I've actually did already for most of my ornithomimids. But you can see here that it can still actually move its head, like so. Quite limited, but still it can you know, make several adjustments into the poses, as you can see. The neck part can also be twisted, so it can move either that way, towards the back, right, left, things like that. The painting details on this one is quite unconventional, like the usual that I do. It has feathering details on most parts of the neck, the body, of course the arms, the legs, or I mean the thighs there, and of course the tail. It has two stripes coming down from its neck, ending on its arms towards the leg there, and then one stripe that bifurcates from this area going down towards the tail in separate. Of course, it has red and black details on the wings and several details as well on the legs. It has blue colorations and a yellow beak, and the eyes are painted as well, as you can see here. And that's the Ornithomimus for you guys. Hello, I'm back for some size comparisons. So comparing this one with a human, the size of the Ornithomimus here is actually almost the same size, as you can see here. A little bit bigger than our usual minifigure. Alright, so let's move on with some size comparisons. First up, we have several ornithomimids as well here. This is the Ornithomimus, which is actually smaller than our Ornithomimus. This was done several years ago, and you know, the level of my customization skills were not as far as what I have at the moment. So you can see, you know, I tried to make details on this one, and you know, it was brown and tan, yeah, just two colors all in all. But I think, you know, maybe I would do a remake on this one, who knows. So this is one of the smaller ornithomimids that I've made so far. Okay, another is the Struthiomimus. So the Struthiomimus here is made off from the smaller raptors that I had before. It's much smaller than our ornithomimid here. The structure is evident. You know, you can see that it's actually from a raptor, and you know, this could have been more clear in terms of what it really is. The neck region could have been more angulated towards here. The tail could be a little bit shorter, and then the legs would have been more representative of the creature if it was actually longer still, with longer what do you call this, hind legs. But nonetheless, it still is a good custom, I guess, for my part. Would change it a bit in the future, probably. Alright, so one of my earliest customs was the Gallimimus. So the Gallimimus here is, as I've said, is one of my earlier customs. It has several articulations also on the arms and the legs. The tail doesn't move. The head and neck moves, can be twisted like so, and then that's it. This is based off from the Lego Jurassic World game. So the color app is pretty much simple. I have like 4 of these. One is actually repainted to that of the Jurassic Park GALLIMIMUS. So probably we'll be remaking these ones, but I don't know. I'm still gonna keep one of the older ones so that I have a remembrance at least. Okay, so we have here a comparison of the Lego, or I say GALLIMIMUS. The legs here are quite short, for a GALLIMIMUS. It has 4 studs on the back. The head is quite big for its body, to be honest. GALLIMIMUSes would have at least this proportion of a head on the body. I think this is a perfect proportion for a Ornithomimus, so probably this will be the basis of how I will be doing my Ornithomimus in the future. So yeah, so this is one of those things that Lego really didn't think so much of. No wonder the sales on the set on this one was not as successful, although it's still good with that of the other sets that it came with. But I think the head sculpt on this GALLIMIMUS is quite good. You can see here the level of detail on the nose, and also and even the teeth. It doesn't have teeth on top. It does have teeth on the bottom, probably because it's based off from the raptor. Alright. Okay, so let's move on with some more comparisons, shall we? So, EB Toy Universe actually created a GALLIMIMUS from the Jurassic World game, and here's how it looks like. Awesome! Look at that. It looks like a monarch or something with that really elaborate headgear, right? And the colorful display of feathers. Blues, yellows, orange. So if you haven't seen the video yet of Mike of EB Toy Universe on his channel, please check it out. And take a look at this GALLIMIMUS. Right. So up next we have some of its cousins, I guess. The Pachycephalosaurids. So we have here Homalocephali, much smaller than our Ornithomimus here. So this is one of my recolors. So check it out, guys. We also have here Stegosaurus, which is a recent, custom of mine. This one actually glows in the dark. So yeah. So we also have here the Ricorex. So that's the Ricorex for you. Much smaller also with our Ornithomimus. Up next are 2 of my most favorite Pachycephalosaurs. So this is the Stygimoloch. So I like the coloration of this one. It's quite, Lego-ish. But at least I made several adjustments in terms of the overall head shape, the design on the back, those horns on the back, and then also articulation on the tail. So that's the Stygimoloch for you guys. And of course, my most favorite herbivore, this is the Pachycephalosaurus, which is almost as tall as our Ornithomimus here, but much bulkier and bigger. Look at the head of that. That's not gonna fight, but yeah, so this is one of my favorite figures actually. I plan to make another one just for my own, so that there's a female version, I guess, or this is the female and then I'm going to make a male version of the Pachycephalosaurus, but we'll see. So yeah, and that's it for the size comparisons on our Ornithomimus. And now for some Extinct Bricks PC roll call. And we have here all the figures that you see here so far in this video. If you have other suggestions of other species of Ornithomimus or remakes of what I already have, please do comment them down below in the comments section. Also in the description box, we'll be placing in all the links of all the creatures that you see here so that you won't have to take a look at the Extinct Bricks playlist. So let's have our Extinct Bricks PC roll call, shall we? First up, we have our Lego GALLIMIMUS. This is our Extinct Bricks Struthiomimus. This is our Extinct Bricks Stegosaurus. Extinct Bricks Stigmoa. This is Editoy Universe GALLIMIMUS. Extinct Bricks Malocephaly. Extinct Bricks Dracorex. This is our Extinct Bricks Pachycephalosaurus. Our Extinct Bricks Ornithomimus. And of course our Extinct Bricks GALLIMIMUS from Lego Jurassic World. And of course, to start the show here, our Extinct Bricks Ornithomimus. And that ends our video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll be putting in, extra clips of our Ornithomimus, so stay tuned until the end of the video.
Wow, this is a very fast runner. Look at it, it's even faster than Dasher. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, thank you so much for all the views, the comments, and all the support that you give this channel. For this, thank you so much and maraming salamat. Also, please don't forget to support our other channels, Ibisoy Universe and The Adventures of Moira and Nasser. Please watch our videos and support our channel by subscribing. And as we always would say, let your inner dino brain roar! Thanks everyone and bye!